The breeder management program here at Wandoo, it revolves around the body condition score of the cow. We manage that really carefully. I think weaning, it's just one process within that whole breeder management system, because basically we've learned that if you don't look after your cow, subsequently you don't get a weaner. I think the biggest driver has probably been profitability, because we've been able to actually increase our number of weaners for turn-off. The other thing I think is really important is for us to meet the market specs by having a much more even line to offer at the end of the weaning process. When the season deteriorates and nutrition is poor, we really focus on relieving the cow of the lactational demand by weaning. In the past, we've actually found it far more cost effective to feed the weaner as opposed to the cow and calf unit.
Weaner supplements are very important for us. Although they're a very high cost contributor to our business, without them we struggle to get our maiden heifers to joining weight, and we don't meet our markets to feedlot entry without them. Key requirements for good weaner management: trough space to prevent bullying, good clean water, plenty of hay, and a fortified we use a fortified molasses depending on the weaner age. We generally try and start our weaners before they come off the cow on our fortified molasses brew. So when they hit the yards, they are accustomed to it. It's not something new. We then make sure the yards are ready for them, troughs are clean, waters are good, hay racks are full, and we leave them for a couple of days without capturing data, just let them settle. We aim for around about 0.7 of a kilo a day as a gain. We don't let the hay racks run out. We don't let the lick troughs empty. And then through the weaner process, paddocks designed for your weaners, with good 3P grasses. The benchmark for success for us is our number of maiden heifers that have reared a calf and a back-in calf. At our most recent preg test, we were at 88% on a 12-week joining, and we've been there for approximately the last 4 to 5 years.
Weaner education here at Wandoo is a fairly lengthy process. We work those weaners through the yard after they've had a couple of days of settling down, and we put them up the crush and draft it off a different way most days, and eventually we'll get them out. I usually select a small number of weaners, about 50 or 60 of them. That's what I say are the quiet ones. We start off with them. They're the first ones out of the yard, and eventually we'll finish up with a few more, and when I say a few more, it could be a couple of hundred, and usually managed with a bike or a horse, and certainly a couple of dogs. Once the weaners are out in the paddock, their first night out, of course you bring them back that night and put them back into the yard and repeat the dose over and over again. We've got a lot of small paddocks close by, especially for the weaners. They're suitably fenced where they naturally go to the water, and they will eventually find their own way around and become very easy to manage, because the operation is very repetitious, and it can take up to 6 weeks before we eventually split them up and turn them bush. One of the things we find here with the children working in the yard, because they love to come to the yard, is we don't want rowdy cattle around where those kids are, or where I am either.
Young cattle weaned in the yards need to be fed 2 to 3 kilograms of good quality dry matter per head per day. You've also got to take into account the fact that the younger those cattle are, the more they're going to waste. So you need to be putting additional hay in the yards above what your calculations for dry matter are. On top of that, you need a good quality water source, and you also need to be thinking about segregating them based on weight in order to minimise bullying. As is done on Wandoo, to meet breeding or turn-off objectives, weaners under 150 kilograms should be fed to gain weight, even in a good paddock with at least 70% 3P grasses. In many cases, this will require some form of a protein supplement, which could include weaner meals or pellets, protein meals, fortified molasses, dry licks or blocks.
My advice to any producer on successful weaner management is education is the biggest thing. Be a lifelong learner. There's just so much information out there available. Go out and find it. Take that time out of your business to then come back and implement change into your business, because you will reap the rewards, and measure things, because you can't manage what you don't measure.
For more information, visit the Future Beef website or contact your local government beef extension officer.
The Grazing Futures Livestock Business Resilience Project promotes weaner management practices that improve herd productivity and drought readiness.